What's going on, people? This is the Brothers Podcast.
I got my hood nigga lingerie on.
This nigga, if you swing on in front of me again.
I got my hood nigga lingerie on.
We will be going in less than 2 minutes. 2 minutes, everybody.
It's a late night start for a late night subject.
Oh, you goddamn right, Steve. It's a late night subject, alright. Please
don't the guns out tonight. Apparently,
don't let your knee touch me as we discuss this topic tonight. I promise. 2 minutes, people. We are going in 2 minutes, man. Ooh, my ass face. What's going on? You good?
We're gonna be like this the whole time, then.
All right, you right.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help us both here.
You good. Put the anchor up. What's going on, people? Keisha Hudson, what's going on?
What's up, Keisha? I'm sharing it. Alright, we're getting ready to do this sound check.
What's going on? How you doing? How you feeling?
She said, "Hey boys."
You
You sound like what you said.
you got a career as a drag queen when you
No. Alright.
Paul's bodyguard having.
Fuck out of here. Alright, ready to do the sound check.
Let's go.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Mic check. Mic check. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. I'm sorry, it's how I was doing. Yeah, we good.
I think we got to the point that
we straight.
She said, "Y'all okay?"
You said, well, I'm good. And we good. We straight. We
good. Okay.
Let's get it.
All right.
We about to hit the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Brothers Podcast. Give it up for yourselves. Because in a world full of hate, who's going to do it for you? I am your co-host, Donte Chase Bridges, a.k.a. Donte Chase Bridges, never needed an a.k.a. Along with my dancing co-host. State your name, bro.
Oh, it's a party, man. Damn. Steven City P. Watson, and I was just shucking and jiving like a house party mixtape. Okay?
But guess what this is? We are
the Brothers. We are shucking and jiving still.
Introducing the DJ, man. State your name if you want to say it. If you want to come over here, just do what you got to do.
JMC, a.k.a.
I'm
DJ
just getting over here.
Yeah,
whatever.
Bring your Governor Steak Boat over here.
Put a little ass over here. Apparently we got an in-house DJ, our DJ of JMC.
Resident.
Do we call him
a.k.a. DJ JMC. You already know why I got the a.k.a. 2 jobs, of course. I don't know if we get into town hall business, but I'm gonna plug myself anyway.
Just do the town hall business, man.
New job, you feel me? New DJ gig, October 15th at Governor State Fashion Show, and officially now host of my own podcast with 3 of my homies. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, called The Winner's Circle. Follow me on Snapchat and Instagram at LongLiveJMC, and on Facebook at Where Is JMC with a question mark at the end to find out more news about that. You dig?
Tell them, get your way out of here now.
That was our lovely pain in the ass, brother. And that's our official DJ of the Brothers. Hopefully we have more often.
Even though that was a prelude, we still got to do a little town hall business.
We still got more of that?
We got one more, man.
Okay.
Now I got one. You got one?
That was my town hall business.
Town hall business. Okay, well, I got a town hall business. I would like to give a shout out to somebody that's about to be my road manager. Tia Roberts, what's going on with you? Appreciate you. Stop gyrating.
What?
You
He's playing house music.
You need a gyrating.
I ain't
You
even
need a
drinking
gyrating.
it.
And this is the thing. This is the reason why he can't do that right now. Because we got a bomb topic tonight. So for this topic, I'm gonna need his knee to be on his side because we are about to
My knee is on the line. All right.
get into it tonight. What are we talking about tonight? This is something that everybody has done, and if you ain't done it, I'm sorry for you. We'll pray. I think everybody has experienced this on some type of level. What about you, Steve? You ever experienced what we about to talk about? Steve.
Last weekend. Oh, what? Oh, yeah.
All right.
You hear that? Bang, 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 ski, ski, ski.
What we're about to get into tonight is the real icky. Tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about sex. What is that? Damn sure ain't Scrabble. We're going to get into so many topics about that. I don't think nobody going to get shot these days. But if they do, hell,
Right.
you know, it is what it is.
Why you always think sex is violent? That's what I want to do.
I don't know. I got to read natal charts.
Hey, man, tell them stop staying off the trap music, all right? Because it's
Hey, it is what it is. But today we're going to get into this, man, and we're going to open up the discussion. Matter of fact, just tell me something real quick, Steve.
Yes.
What you feel about this whole sex thing, man?
I think it's a wonderful experience. It's a life-altering thing. It changes your mind. It brings peace to your life. It brings you to a heavenly plane. I believe it is the most awesome experience that God has put us on this earth to experience.
Okay, this
Man,
nigga's about to fly away like a butterfly. Okay.
Let me tell you something. Look here.
Well, go ahead and tell me
Let me tell you
something.
something. Sex is something that everybody needs to experience if you haven't experienced it yet. Now, I understand there's some virgins out there.
Okay.
And I'm all happy that y'all committed y'all life to find the right one. I didn't have that option, okay? I had to, get it over with pretty quickly. So, you know what? I'm actually fortunate. What?
Wait, hold on. You say you didn't have that option of finding somebody that wanted to have sex with you first. Did something happen to you? If it did, I don't even want to talk about it.
Don't talk about that.
Okay,
There's legalities behind that.
That's a different type of podcast.
We were young. I was young. She was young. She was young. Go on to the questions. Okay, look, I don't feel like we're gonna.
Before we go into questions, JMC,
Yo,
how you feel about the whole sex side of things?
sex is great, but it's also extremely dangerous, and not just because of STDs. Let that marinate.
And why is that though? You got a little bit more for it?
Cause sex ain't just what people be making it think. Think it is, I should say. It's also your energies and your soul connecting. So you feel me? Let some demons eat you out if you want to, and wonder why your life starts going negative.
And on that subject, let's get into it because he hit it on the head. We're going to be talking about sex, but we're going to be coming from so many different perspectives. So I want y'all to gear up. City Pete, step up to the stage. I need to ask you a couple of questions, bro.
What? Sex word again? Yeah. Demons were sucking me. What? Huh?
Oh, all right.
All right.
This dude is horny. What the hell is going on here?
What?
Okay.
What?
Let's just take a sharp, quick turn. And I know we're talking about sex, and you know that it's all good and everything. But you know we got little issues going on in the black community,
Right.
dealing with sex. You know, a lot of people are dealing with quote unquote the ain't shit nigga syndrome. A lot of people are dealing with the epidemic of fathers not being in the home because somebody didn't decide to wrap it up. So I want you to tell me in your words, what do you think sex really means in the black community when you're dealing with black men and black women?
Well, the problem is because, well, my thing is now sex is in this modern day black community has gotten real taboo. It's gotten real taboo. Because now it's more so about gender control, over bragging rights, over your reputation now. And it's really a double standard now. It's evolved into a bit of a double standard. Right. I will admit that. And it's geared towards the most likely, and let's be real, it's geared towards benefiting men and kind of downtrodden women. You gotta give it credit for this.
Now, what do you mean by downtrodden women?
Well, let's be honest. Promiscuity in sex, it's, like I said, a double standard. For men, we've looked at it as a realm of bragging. Right. You tell people, man, you amongst the boys, and you tell me, I smashed like 3 shorties last week. You automatically gonna get props from your boys and your crew, or whoever it is. Well, I know.
It happens.
Yeah, I heard the story about the number. We talked about the whole numbers thing. I'm a strong believer of, look, you tell me you fucked 100 women, I'm going to just put a third or a quarter of that, and that's what your real number is. I think you're lying. You're lying a bit.
Okay.
Well, that's what men do. They lie.
We do.
However, on the flip side, for women, you gotta admit, promiscuity amongst women is kind of frowned upon because what societal impact has shown us is that women can't be looked at as promiscuous. They can't look at as having multiple partners. They can't look at it as being able to enjoy sexual experiences more often than men do because they would look at it as a derogatory thing. Look at it as like tramps or skanks or whores. They become objectified. You've seen that in music videos that we've grown up on.
That is true.
Objectification has now become more and more and more and more. You know, it came rampant, especially around late 90s, early 2000s when gangster rap came out. Objectification was all over the fucking place. So sex was like a priority for a lot of men.
So who do you think is actually doing the objectifying? Do you think that it's actually the rappers and the men that are telling the women that I want you to do these certain, let's just say it like this. Let me wrap this back all the way up. I like that. Between men and women, do you think it's the men blaming the women that they're being promiscuous, aka a little slutty? Or you think it's women shaming women for the fact that they're doing something that women actually all want to do, which is experience a lot of men?
Okay, well, I would say it could be a little bit of both, but let's be honest. Well, women have really put that pressure on other women like that. Now, it could go both ways. Men, I would say women have put the pressure more on women, but men have damn sure tried to enforce it. Because apparently, you know, men have to sometimes follow the norm of what the woman does. When we always talk about how women, especially black women in a black household, have a huge impression at how black men operate. They're literally the backbone of the household. So if a woman, let's say for instance, your woman says, that type of shit don't work, I don't like promiscuity, that shit don't really work. I don't like that, that's disgusting. That's a whore, you shouldn't like whore behavior. You know, keep the peace in your home, you gonna be like, yeah baby, you're right. I don't want that, you know what I'm saying? But deep down inside, you don't really care about that shit at all.
What you don't care about?
You don't care about promiscuity. You don't care about promiscuity. You care about you getting yours. Let's be realistic. Men give a fuck more about getting theirs than they do about how many they done fuck.
All right, you speaking in absolutes. We gonna have.
I'm gonna be we gonna speak in absolutes because let me tell you something. The number, your body count has never, to most men, adult men, I really don't believe body count has made that much of a difference. It's about whether or not they fit into that body count. Because here's the thing though. And people are wondering like, well, when, you know, doesn't that affect long-term relationships? But here's what I'm saying. We're not talking about relationships. We're talking strictly sex. Sex and relationships are two different things. Like saying sex and love are two different things.
Okay.
Sex and love can be completely separated. Men have no problem separating it. Trust me, we don't.
Wait a minute now, let me ask you something, because you kind of hitting on the topic now. You said sex and love can be separated.
Yes.
So what is love then? Because if I can separate sex, then you're telling me these two don't intertangle? They're not interwoven together? They don't have anything to do with one? One's not the prerequisite of the other? These are just two opposite entities on other sides of the spectrum. What is this love thing? Because if I could separate it, then shoot, I would have never had my heart broken in the first place.
Well,
so what's this love thing?
Love thing is more. It's like is a feeling of emotions. It's more of an infatuation. It's more of a how you're attracted to somebody. It's become so great inside of you. And the thing is, it can generate over time and manifest to be something greater. But you can. Love. I mean, well, I say love was actually built on the backbone of sex. So you can say that a lot of people constantly have sex with one person and then end up being said, They may love them, or their true emotions may come out. They could be a gateway for that.
Right.
Not necessarily something that happens often amongst us men, but it's a gateway sometimes. So like you ever talk about you and fuck the girl so hard, and then at the end of the time, oh baby, I love you so much. It's kind of like you're oozing out a little bit of your emotions on that.
Right.
You now, whether that be a real emotion or not, or maybe just an infatuation that you're feeling at that moment. But the point is, it's not really something that is entirely built on. Sex doesn't really have that much of a relative term towards love. Sex has
real statement right there.
Yeah, there's a real relative term for love. Sex. Sex is just sex. Sex has been used for pleasure. Sex has been used for reproduction. Sex has been used for entertainment. Love is what it is. I'll tell you like this. You can break it down like this, and this is just the most general
Break
term.
it down,
This is the most general term I can do is. It's not about who you want to spend Friday night with. It's about who you want to spend all day Saturday and Sunday with.
This nigga. Okay.
That's you could be in love.
Boom. Okay, here you go.
So that's how I look at it.
All right.
So basically, what you're saying is, it ain't about how many women you know, and not about the woman you fuck. It's about whether or not you want to get up and spend more time with them after you're done fucking.
Oh shoot, man. Listen.
And that's where the love part starts.
Listen, bro. That ish right there.
Mm-hmm.
I love it,
Okay.
but I'm gonna have to agree on some things. Some things I'm gonna have to disagree on.
All right.
Now, the thing that I'm gonna have to disagree on is that I don't feel there is a separation of love and sex, and this is why. Because I don't feel that people truly know the definition of love. Just wanted to let it marinate, get my head out the scene, let it marinate for you.
Okay.
A lot of people look at love as a thing. Let's go back to English class. Proper nouns. Most people look at love as a proper noun, as in a place to be, as in somewhere to shoot to. Love is actually a verb. Love is to express. Love is to show. Passion. Romantic intensity is love. So, the reason why I disagree with you with the fact that I don't think you can separate love from sex, because just in the mere fact of black men and black women experiencing sex, what do? You show intense passion. You show intense romanticism. Because sex is one of the most passionate things you can possibly do. Although you might not be romantically attached to that person, in order for your sympathetic nervous system to react, in order for your thing to get hard enough to insert into her vaginal walls. I should have been a poet. I've missed my calling. Okay. In order for you to do that, you have to experience a sense of intensity for that person. Hence love. You have to have passion for that person. Hence love. And you have to have the action, the verb. So ask me again, or I ask myself, is sex love? I would have to say yes. Because I can't have any of those prerequisites without displaying what we talk about as love. And I think that's what's going on in the black community, people. We have used social media, well actually we didn't use it, social media has used us to make it seem as though these two things are separated. But you can't separate.
Right.
Did you really have something?
I did.
Go on, talk.
Well, see, now I have to ask you this question because of what you brought up. I have to ask the question. Isn't that more geared toward the person more than the overall concept? Because not everyone feels that way on the connection of sex and love. That's why I said people are more like to separate sex from love.
But like I said, most people don't even understand that sex is a verb and not a noun. And that's one of the things that's plaguing the black community. Just like the young bull said, sex is not something that just happens. Sex is an exchange of energy. Emotion. Energy in motion. You cannot tell me that even with the person that you hadn't felt the most romantic feeling towards, you had a lot of energy and motion towards that person when you was having sex. So this is emotion, the act of sex. And this is the most passionate, intense part of the emotion, which is sex, which correlates in love. So I don't think it's that love and sex are separated. I just think black men and women don't know what the hell we talking about. Because energy, no matter if it's romantic, intensity, all comes from the same place. And if you get back to the more antiquity terms for sex, this is an antenna I got in between my legs. This is an antenna. This is not only a phallic symbol. This is a transmission of who I truly am. So the act of love, the act of sex, going inside of another woman's walls, touching every one of her walls, because she is the receiver. Just like a ball is received in a catcher's mitt, she is the receiver of my energy. And no matter if I feel mentally that I love her or not, if I knew what the hell love was before I broke it down, she is still receiving the intensity of who I am. No matter if I love in the expression of love, which is sex, I hate her, I hate myself. You can't separate these energies right here. And that's one of the things that's plaguing the black community, because we don't even know these tools that we use are so much stronger than we give them credit for.
Need some water?
You got the love box in between your legs.
You need some water?
You can deliberate
Talking
what I
about
said
some
on the board.
antennas and shit. Talking about some, you need some water. This nigga over here playing real love. Sprung bastards. Look, anyway.
And I'll give you another
You
example.
having sex or you having intercourse?
Because you can't have
This
one.
course is boring.
You can't have one without the other. Intercourse and sex. What's the difference between intercourse and sex?
Boring.
No. Let's be real about it. The difference between intercourse and sex is sex, you are saying, is a mentally stimulating as well as a spiritually stimulating situation. Intercourse is a situation where your body has reacted and you're sticking your inside of the. But at the same time, no, because we ain't gotta be
This
gratuitous
ain't
about it.
PG-13.
We ain't gotta be gratuitous about it. You know what I'm talking about. But both of those nonetheless requires the mind and the nervous system to fire to the point where your body is erected, and that woman's nervous system is firing to the point where her body gets wet. That is the act of love. If you break it down in the Egyptian terms, the greatest showing of love is intercourse. So how can we go all the way? Let's fast forward back to 2018, and we've got to the point, because of social conditioning, the way that the media propagates what sex is, and basically is for political agendas. It's not even for what it actually is. We've got to the point where we don't even look at sex as an expression of love. We look at this as something that is separate, as having water over here and having oil on the other side.
But I was going to bring that part up, because socially now, well, apparently from what you're saying is, because socially now, it really makes it a lot easier to separate the norms. Like emotionally, you can be emotionally combative about that too.
You can never.
Because you can be emotionally combative.
Yeah.
You can be, because I mean, the idea of getting too emotionally invested in something like that due to sex, and then getting hurt by that, can really numb the pain of that. Can really numb you to that ideology.
Let me ask you another question.
What's up?
Big bro. Now, if sex did not have the verb of love, then how, and I want you to think about this, because most of us experienced sex when we were younger, you know, and I'm not going to say when you were 10 or 9 or some of y'all did, keep it to yourself. But when you're 16, 17, 18, you know, most of us at some point dabbled in sex. At that point, you didn't even know what the concept of love was. Right?
No.
You didn't know the concept. Did you know the concept, Mario, over here singing this shit?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Liar! Oh, no, sorry.
You did not know the concept of love. But you just stated that when you had sex, you exchanged energy that was not reciprocated to the point that it made you be jaded. So how is it that this energy vessel that we talking about as sex is different from love? Even at the concept that you didn't even understand what love was. You knew that feeling that when you got finished and that girl rejected you, that you did never want to experience that again. What you didn't want to experience again? Because you can't have rejection without expectations and the intensity of those expectations, which is love.
Well, you can't really guarantee that you understand love because at that age, when you're speaking of from the ages of 16, 17, 18, you're not guaranteed you know what exactly that emotion is. You're still processing things. Mm-hmm. You're not sure what that emotion is. You're not sure what that feeling is. You don't understand that concept. All you understand is the feeling. Now, I will admit, you probably spend the rest of your life trying to chase that feeling again with multiple targets. You spend the rest of your life doing that. But eventually, like I said, with societal impact nowadays, it's like it's making it much, much easier to separate the concept of love and sex. So as you get older, it becomes really just moot points. Like you can really just, it really is a disgusting idea that I have to bring this up. But you can go ahead and just buy a stripper and fuck them and don't feel nothing about it.
Oh Lord Jesus! Okay.
That prostitution has been running high
on the Arnie side of the game. So
you know about Arnie's.
Shout out to them.
Let's not sit there. Look, Arnie's done put a lot of lonely niggas in the South Side brew. Okay, so shout out to Arnie's. Y'all have been servicing the community for a very, very long time. I don't know how long. How do you know?
Because his pizza is amazing.
They got a restaurant over.
You've been to Arnie's?
No, Arnie's.
He's been to Arnie's. He lying. You lying. You've been to Arnie's. You just told on yourself. Nasty. Whatever. We all
better than that.
We ain't. Whatever. Look, the bottom line is that when you get older, unfortunately, when you get older, the emotional sex and love kind of gets really blind, more gets blurred, and then starts to separate. And that's been socially conditioned.
Well, let me ask you a question about social conditioning. Who is and what is the social conditioning that's going on that made the essence of having sex in the black community be completely separate from even being in love with that person, even experiencing love, even thinking about anything romantic? Who is doing this? What entity is doing
it's being combative now, basically, because I guess you could say systemically.
Okay.
You say systemically. Systemically, we are being now bred to be combative towards each other as men and women. So it's not really...
Sarah, you nasty.
What you say?
Okay, let's just keep on going.
I want to see. What you know about that $50 special there, Sarah?
Find Jesus.
Sarah knows about the $50 special.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm sorry.
Nah, Sarah. You tell us, you elaborate on that.
You need a prayer.
Elaborate on that. Because I don't know nothing about no $50 special.
I'm sorry, bro.
I ain't never been. But anyway. What the fuck was you talking about?
You talking about the gratuitous filth that was happening.
Sarah over here breaking down a $50 special. I'm like, wait, this is a $50 special? I didn't know that. What the fuck comes that $50 special?
Okay, sit down, man.
I didn't know.
Now, what we was talking about is the social engineering
of
sex and love.
Okay, well, systemically, it's the system. Systemically, we're now being bred that men and women don't necessarily need each other. We brought that up in past episodes.
Oh, okay.
Men and women have no need. There's a concept that's being formed that men and women don't necessarily need each other to prosper, and that's not even hitting the bedroom too. So now it's coming more towards women now seeking to pleasure themselves, men being unfortunately stuck to pleasure themselves. I guess in this day and age, I don't have that problem. Just saying.
Really? Okay, yeah. Okay.
But at the point is, every man has had that problem. So, but you know, it is unfortunately a systemic thing. It has really caused a rift in love life.
You know what? Let's come from a whole different angle, because you said something about pleasure that I want to get into.
Okay.
Now, we all like pleasure, okay? Mm-hmm. Nobody can get away from that.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes the pleasure can go a little bit crazy. You can get into that freak mode, right? Mm-hmm. Right? You can get a little freaky with the pleasure, go a little overboard.
Nigga, you ain't even turn the AC on. I ain't turn the AC on. That's my fault.
Do I have a boil of sweat happening on my? Okay.
Oh, nah, that's why you got water in your hand.
Yeah, I'm trying to cool down. But you can get into the freak mode of this whole sex thing. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you something. And this is a real question, even for the DJ. But let Big Bro answer this first. Do you feel that the freakier the woman, the more she is a jewel, an asset to that man, or the more he is repelled by the fact that she is so freaky before she met him.
So basically, are you asking me that just being a freak in the bed make you really the best?
Dude, being a freak in the bed before I met you, I don't even know you, and you coming in, you swinging off the chandelier, you got 7 pearls, you got plugs and all this type of stuff, you got nipple clamps. I don't even know you. You coming in with all of this situation about you, and I'm supposed to say this is a keeper. Tell me, in your words, and the DJ, do you feel that that is a keeper woman, or do you feel that is a clean sweeper woman?
Hell nah.
Explain.
I mean, no.
So you don't think that a woman being a freak is a quality that you need if you would think about being in a serious committed
not off the
relationship?
bat. Not off the bat.
Explain.
Not off the bat, because now you're just entrapping my sexual desires. Okay. Like I said,
What you mean by entrapping? You mean like
So this shit all.
our DJ is feeling himself.
Hey, y'all talking about
Man, I ain't for all that shit. Look,
I'm sorry.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Okay?
it's a sex episode.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but there's still there's no women around here.
Okay, just answer the
But
question.
anyway, the point is that it's not really there's layers to that. Okay, now for her to be a freak in the room, you're already attracting our sexual side. You're enticing us. You're already drawing us in. Our intrigue is there. But once that nut gets shot off, that's when the real fun begins. It's kind of like you got to figure out who the hell I'm dealing with now. So it don't matter how much of a freak you are in bed, but it will show something. I will give you credit though. It will show more of your adventurous side. That you're a very adventurous person, that you're willing to try new things, that you're open-minded as well.
Right.
So those are going to be qualities that you can have, but that's not just exactly that's going to make that open and shut case that, I want to be with this person. You just may be enticing a side of me that I, never thought I wanted to experience.
DJ, how you feel about that question, bro?
I say that's a double-edged sword.
Okay.
Because
Stab yourself.
niggas want a shorty who's nasty.
Right.
Niggas don't want freaks. Because then you leave inside the man's head. What are you finna do when I leave that you know I can't accomplish? Because your 8-inch dildo don't bust a nut.
All right.
Ever. Your 8-inch dildo don't get soft.
All right.
Ever. It don't get tired, none of that. So
You gotta go to work in the morning.
it's like Big Bro just said, after I bust this nut and this moment of clarity come up and I look up and all this shit is
That's
still
what
on
all
your-
happens.
still on your dresser, I'm like, oh damn. So you don't really need me here.
Because, man,
You just kind of wanted me here on some, that nigga here. But I ain't really need that nigga. I could have did it on my own.
So you feel, and you feel too, that
It's fun.
it's fun. Okay, but fun is one thing.
Don't get me wrong.
Fun is one thing, but you feel that in the bigger scheme of things, as far as if I'm gonna make this girl potentially my wife, this is a strike against her, or this is a strike for her.
well, like I said, like he said, well, that moment of clarity is a motherfucker.
Okay, but what in that moment of clarity, what are you feeling about that woman?
In that moment of clarity, I realized, damn, I ain't think I was that one.
Okay, this nigga. Go to the DJ. Exactly.
It's gonna take. It's gonna take.
This nigga need a nap or a Pornhub site. I don't know what is. Okay, DJ, tell me something, bro.
It's gonna take me a
You
second.
ain't got your own
to,
category before?
It's gonna take me a second to process that situation. What's up? Go ahead.
You telling me you don't have a category?
I do.
So what's your category?
Ghetto females.
Ghetto females.
Ultimate surrender. I have categories.
You have categories?
Yes.
Okay, so why the fuck you acting brand new about this right now?
First of all, why you gotta come at me?
Because you are offending the honor that is Pornhub.
you
How
are
dare
insisting
you?
upon me
How
because of
dare you offend the honor of a website, a beautiful website that's put a lot of men through lonely nights.
First of all, I didn't know you was making commission by Pornhub.
Look,
you are.
I've been doing some
Are
Pornhub.
you doing affiliate marketing with Pornhub?
It's Pornhub.
Maybe.
And y'all-
And they cut me a check.
They sponsoring the podcast.
If they sponsor the podcast, I'm all for it. Cut us a check.
The
Cut us
Brothers
a check.
Podcast, sponsored by Pornhub.
Pornhub, stay your black ass away from him.
Pornhub. Alright, I'll be your endorser. Just give me the shit.
Okay, well, anyway, let's get back on topic,
All right.
please.
All right.
Now, you don't feel that if a woman is displaying that her freaky side, her freaky nature, you don't feel that that's a strike against her as far as being a potential woman you will make your girlfriend?
I don't think it's a strike against her, but I will say that it's going to take a lot more than just you showing me your freaky side for me to want to be committed.
But is it just the act? Is it a strike for her or a strike against her?
It would be a strike for her. I would say it would be a strike for her.
Okay.
But I understand that men would find that somehow intimidating to them.
Oh, do tell.
I do understand, because a man can say they're a freak, because like I said, it comes back to ego. Men can say they are true freaks and they like to get down. They like to fuck all the time. They like all that riff-raff and rigmarole that they like to talk about, until they meet a woman that maybe is a little bit more freaky and a lot more sexually aggressive than they are. Now the problem is that men aren't usually used to that.
No,
they're usually used to being the aggressors. So when you're not the aggressors, a man basically saying they're the bigger freaks. They're the more kinky ones. They're the ones that are more promiscuous. They're the ones that want to have it more than women. But when you run across a woman that's like that, it's not necessarily something that men are most prepared for.
You know what, man? I gotta do this. I don't want to do this. But I gotta call bullshit.
Why?
On you and on you too. And this is the reason why I gotta do it.
Tell me why.
Men are naturally, just the way we made up, just the yin side of the game, we are naturally protective. We naturally want this woman or whatever entity we with to be with us and only us. I'm not saying in a society norm, I'm just saying innately. If we're talking about, is it a possibility that you may have a child with somebody else? How can we make that not?
Oh, by all means.
Don't do any sexual activities with anybody else. We're talking about on the innate side of the game. So if men, but we're going back to innate. Innate is by nature. It's not about any type of economic or society pressures. This is innately how I feel. If I was in a cave and my girl was in a cave and I'm about to have sex with my girl to make a child, but she get on top of the cave, do pussy popping on a handstand, I'm gonna think that the dude in the other cave might have been showing my girl how to do this. So that might decrease my chances of having offspring with this woman and it being mine. I'm going back to the innate phase of this stuff.
Oh, you going to prehistoric time?
I'm going back to the prehistoric time. I'm going back to the Homo elepticus, the tool bearer. That's what I'm going back to. But just to make my point, that is naturally a possession thing when you're dealing with men. And in possession, not control, but in possession, in protection, most men don't want a female to experience any type of sexual pleasures, especially if it's at an advanced state that they ain't had no thing with. They ain't do nothing. They ain't show it. They ain't talk to her about this. They do not want a female to walk into the door with an extra freaky state and they had nothing to do with it. So to say that you came in, you were flipping up and down, you were all up on the headboards, the ceiling, the chandelier, and I looked at you and said, I'm going to make you my wife. First of all, you're dealing with your left brain at that point, your logical brain. Because after you bust that thing, why they say in the moment of clarity, but that's actually the hormones releasing and your brain becoming free to think how it normally did again. You're dealing with the left side of your brain, the logical side of your brain. And logically, innately, it's going to tell me that this woman has experienced sex on a level that may mean that she might be promiscuous, or innately, it might be a chance in the future that she might not have my baby because it might be somebody else. That is a natural reaction in the man's mind to say, wait a minute, who taught you that shit? Who showed you what you know? And not only who showed you, how many people showed you? Because you ain't learned that with one person. And I don't care what nobody say right now. I'm gonna speak as Donte Chase Bridges. I don't like a body count being too high. Now, why is that? I could go for the whole, well, you know, I don't care. I don't like a body count being too high because I understand that if the body count is too high, it's too much energy inside of that pom pom. Next, I don't want the energy to be too high because I know that all that man meat inside of you now has caused you to lust after things that may be outside of me. You may want a man that has a different personality than I do, a different characteristic than I do. You wouldn't experience that if you wouldn't have had all that energy inside of you in the first place. So, do I want a woman to come in the bed doing poo pop on a handstand? Not really. Do I want her to come in the bed and we explore it together? Yes, I do. And you can call it caveman, you can call it whatever you want. But the innate man, masculine, alpha male in me wants to be first in line and first in time. And I don't want no woman that's going to display that she may have dibbled and dabbled with a lot of other men except me. And that is a way of showing me you got experience. You know what you're doing. I don't like that.
I like how you just clean up the words that you use. Like,
hey, listen, man.
Poom poom, pee popping, man meats.
This is BET uncut edited version that I'm trying to show.
That's the crappy version. That's really good.
So you don't agree with that?
Man, look, I don't agree to that editing part, but yes, I guess I can understand what you're. Some men, like I said, some men don't like that type of thing. But what happened? What you said, girl?
Let's read this out. Keisha, we gonna pick on you for a minute.
Yes, Keisha.
So the question is, but what if the female have a low body count and get all of the skills from watching fuck.com? She knows the internet. Okay.
Oh, you're watching fuck.com.
So what I would say right now, as far as society norms, if you're with one male and you're telling me this, that you're getting these skills from that one male and watching this one porn site, that's okay. But it better be from a monogamous relationship that you've been with for a long time. If you're telling me that you've learned these things and that, now you're telling me, or now you're showing me, you displaying characteristics that make me say, I could potentially have her as a wife. Because it shows she can stick in something in the long run. Mm-hmm. And also she don't have a lot of man energy inside of it. Now, what you do mentally inside of your mind, that's for you. Right. Because we all have our own thoughts. We all think about things. We all watch our little porn, this and that. But what you physically show me is that although you can be freaky inside of a committed relationship for a long time. And that kind of super exceeds you being with a lot of men or you being freaky. That just tells me that when you're in a relationship, you're comfortable enough to express your sexual side with you. Completely different argument right there.
Well, you know what? I have somebody brought up an interesting bonus question to me. This is just a little bit of a segue off a little bit. Let's bring up this little bonus question. What do you feel about stimulation?
You mean like clitoral stimulation?
Yeah, clitoral stimulation. What would you prefer? Clitoral or, penile stimulation?
I am a guy. What the hell are you asking me this?
Okay, what would you...
Do I prefer clitoral stimulation?
Yeah, like if you prefer going... Okay, here's the thing. As a man, would you prefer to go down on a woman or have a woman go down on you? Because there's certain preferences. This is a woman asking this question.
Okay.
Women asking this question.
And you know what? I'm not even going to act like that because there are certain people that like to experience something.
Right, exactly. So I'm like, what?
Now, I'm going to preface this by saying, listen, I ain't talking about nobody else, but... I do like to go down on my woman. I do get a lot of pressure from doing it. Mm-hmm. That's something that I like. I like it.
So would you choose that over a woman going down on you?
No. But see, at the same time, because now you're saying either one or the other. We're going to have to be reciprocating.
Well, this is the thing is some people have their own preferences. And you can't knock people's preferences sometimes. This is what they prefer. Some people have claimed they don't go down on women. Men have claimed that they don't go down on women, but they claim they don't go down on men. Right. I think they're lying. I think they're full of shit. I think they really have. I think they're, in my attempt to try to clean up the word, bees.
They not bees, they ain't going down. They ain't.
I'm making an attempt. They're punk ass bitches. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. But look,
hey, Mama, you can't watch this episode.
Right, you can't watch this episode. But the bottom line is, I think that I ain't gonna lie, man. I actually I enjoy going down on a woman. Very much so. And the thing is, a woman will go down on you need some head. I mean, I enjoy that too. I ain't going really nut off it.
Oh, okay.
And this is something I'm about to tell someone a little bit of a freaky side.
Oh, okay.
I don't come off the head. I'm sorry. I don't come off the head. That's a very bold thing I just said on this podcast, and I can't believe I said that. But it's true. I don't come off the head.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
There's a lot of men that don't come off of oral sex. You know, we call it retarded ejaculation, if you ask.
What?
Do you have retarded?
You made that shit up. I don't understand what the fuck.
If anybody is watching this,
you made that shit up.
I'm going to bet him $100 that retarded ejaculation is a real thing.
I'm not gonna.
He's not going to take the bet because he fears that this is actually a real thing now.
Nah, because I ain't got $100 to spend right now.
Okay, bet me $5. $5. Somebody go look up retarded ejaculation.
One of them gotta look it up. Not one of us.
Sarah, anybody. Go
somebody
look
inbox it to me. Not him.
Go inbox it. Do what you gotta
inbox me. Somebody send me what retarded ejaculation is. This is the actual definition. If it is, I will pay that man $5 to his face live on this podcast next week.
I'm a goddamn scientist. Are you serious? Gonna really get back in the picture, man? We still gotta talk.
Shit, man. I don't buy that bullshit.
Oh my god! But
science is lying a lot of things.
You know, one of the reasons why I said that about we gonna segue all the way off this topic. But the reason why I said that about I enjoy pleasure in a woman sometimes more than receiving it is because it's actually a part of my zodiac makeup.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about the romantic sexual side of the game, I am a Mars and a Venus in Libra. And if you know anything about Mars and Libra, Venus and Libra, the one thing we like to give, we like to pleasure, we like to show people how we feel about you, whether it's romantic, mental, or sexual. But the one thing we don't like is when we feel like we're being taken advantage of. So when you talk about the sexual side of the game, as far as oral sex or however it is, if I ever feel like the woman is taking advantage of me, maybe I won't do it. But if I feel, I see you.
No.
But if I feel taken advantage of, I don't want to reciprocate. I want the whole thing to be done. So that's how
apparently. On an update, apparently somebody who's been watching the podcast immediately when he found the definition. Apparently, the challenge what I'm saying and inboxed it to me just now.
You don't even have to find a definition. I know it's true. So this guy, I'll be receiving.
I don't believe that shit.
He's not even gonna give me. I don't want $5. I want you to cash app it to me, and we're gonna do the transaction on air next week. That's what we gonna do. It's okay though. I need that. It's lunch month.
I don't know what that is. I haven't read it, so technically it's not really.
You should have took my advice, man.
Fuck you. Look, move on.
All right, man. So moving on, man. We talked about sex, but we talked about the good things, the fun, the freaky dicky. But let's get into some real stuff about sex.
I'm fans of Prince.
A lot of and you should not have took the bet.
Oh no.
A lot of things.
No. Jeremy, come here. JMC, come here real quick. Hold on.
I'm going to step out of the shot for 1 quick minute. I'm going to bring the DJ in.
JMC, come here.
I missed whatever.
You're about to find out. Come
and
here.
I need y'all to I need for you two to explain to the public why I've just stepped out of the shot.
I don't know what you're saying.
Say hello to mom.
My mom.
Mom. Hey. How are you?
Let's say, what's going on?
How are you, mother? You really should have turned into this episode.
Miss Watson, I am so sorry what you're about to hear. We've had a lot of episodes, but it's very coincidental that this is the one that you
right, like she saw that. You know what I bet it was in her level. Because here's the thing, though. And our mother's subliminal sense of pettiness. Because she's laughing about it. Look at she's laughing. And our mother's subliminal level of pettiness. She saw the topic of discussion we talking about and immediately said, well, I'm going to step in and see what they have to talk about this. And I'm sitting there like,
got some more water or something?
Hurry me to the last second.
Okay, here we go.
Let's cut this episode real short. Let's go. Hurry up.
Sorry, Ms. Watson, but we're
Let's
about
go to
get
the
into some-
educational part
Yeah,
of the
we're
show.
about, and that's good because we're about to get into some education part of it. Now
She said exactly. Yeah, I know.
we talking about all the. I bet you ain't gonna cuss now. But all that cussing gone now.
My mother's a deacon. I ain't trying to do all that.
We have discussed the good stuff, the freaky deaky,
No, we haven't.
we'll be hit on it. We touched on it. And
Slightly.
let's talk to the real about sex. Now there's a lot of potential risks for having this sex that we talk about. STDs, bad relationships, a baby mother that you don't get along with, a baby father that you don't get along with, the court system, getting your license revoked. It's all right, man.
She know you too. She said you in trouble too.
Why? I didn't.
You in trouble too. Ha ha! You with us. You in the same boat
I
now.
didn't
You in the boat with us. You in the boat with us too.
So you have a lot of situations going on with this.
Him especially. He's special.
But let's keep it real quick. Let's get serious. When you're dealing with sex, you are dealing with energy. And you're dealing with an energy that has been stored inside of your body since you've been born. Whatever traumatic experience you ever had, whatever devastation you ever had, whether your mother died, whether your father died, whether you never knew your mother or your father, whether you were abused as a child, whether you were molested as a child, anything and every energy vessel that can go into your body gets expressed when you have sex. So, when you have sex with a person and you may be dealing with things like low self-esteem, depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, all types of mental illnesses that pop up, we'll get into that later, but all types of things that pop up inside of your soul that you haven't expressed to your partner. And you look at this and you have sex with this person and all of a sudden this person's personality starts to change on you. Not you, because you are the vessel, you're the one that's giving it to that person. But that person's personality starts to change on you. I want your opinion. If we know that sex and this antenna in between our legs is that powerful that we can transfer all of the emotional trauma we've ever had in our entire life to that person, why in the hell aren't we more responsible about who we have sex with?
Oh man. Well, see, like I said, that also, like I said, there's a lot of factors that can play into that too. Keep it playing. Okay. I gotta step closer because I gotta see what she's saying.
She said she got it. Y'all good.
Lying. She just scared us now. Look. Nah, I think it's a lot of layers behind that. It could be, like I said, it could also be due to that. Could also be due to emotionally. That could also be due to ego. That could also be due to a lot of, like, those two are mainly what I want to focus on. Emotionally, and I touched on this subject last time, and I know we went back and forth, we argued about that too. But like I said, emotionally, the side effects or the backlash of certain things can also kind of be thrown out the window when you start thinking emotionally. Because like I said, emotion sometimes can cloud judgment, or better judgment. Like, you can be so caught up in a moment. Let's say, for instance, you're stroking it, and you caught up in a moment of emotion, and you're not wearing protection. You ejaculate. You're not wearing a condom. She's going to have birth control. She tells you 6 weeks later, I'm late. We all know what that means. Okay. So emotion and the passion of that moment could definitely cloud your judgment. It's happened before. Because that's how a lot of babies have been brought in out of wedlock, I guess you could say that. Or a lot of babies have been brought in from two couples, from two people who don't really mesh that well in the first place, or never really want to mesh outside of the bedroom like that in the first place. It also be due to because of ego, because ego-wise saying you shouldn't feel like you have to take the responsibility. It's always brushing the responsibility off to the next person. I've had a person tell me one time before, one male friend told me one time before that they when they had sex with a woman, raw dog, at their moment, in their minds, they literally said, you know what? Fuck it. I ain't got no condom. Fuck it. I might as well nut. Ain't like I'm gonna see that again. And that's ego. That's a very egotistical shit. Now that is a problem. That's a serious problem because that's showing a very lack of maturity. But it's really sad almost. It's like we're not exercising enough caution like that. We're getting so wrapped up in ourselves and worried about caring about what ourselves and not caring about the other person involved in this. Because it takes two to do this, to engage in sexual activity, and we're not taking heed and care for the person who is opposite of us. It's mostly just about ourselves. So at a certain point, sex can become really selfish.
Let me ask you a question, and I want to ask DJ a question. Do you know the true definition, and not even the definition, do you know the true purpose of having sex?
What we have to do this?
We talking about outside of just basic reproduction?
Outside of basic reproduction.
I would say I got my own definition, but no. So enlighten me on that when you decide you feel that you're going to explain that to us.
Steve, what about you?
I'm assuming that was mostly about reproduction, or basically for a human connection to be meet to people. You know, basically designed for human connection.
Human
To
connection.
see, to spiritually lift, I guess in a way. I'm not sure what you follow this. You might as well explain to us, but I'm not sure.
So, the true meaning of having sex, and this goes back, like I said, to antiquity. The true meaning of having sex, babies are not the root of having sex. Baby is a symptom or a byproduct. The true expression of sex is to unlock every chakra that's found inside of your body in order for you to experience kundalini. What do I mean by that? You know how Christians and people that of the Muslim faith and people of the Jewish faith go to church, go to mosque, read the Kabbalah, read the Septuagint, read the Bible, and they're trying to connect closer to God. The reason why you're reading the Bible, which you agree, and the Kabbalah is to connect closer to God.
Yeah.
Which you all agree.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what people don't know is that the act of sex is the quickest, fastest, and most accurate way to connect your body and your mind at the same time to God. So the true reason of having sex is not in order to experience pleasure. Pleasure is a symptom, just like children are a symptom of having sex. The true meaning is what these Catholic people look for when they go to church, go to Friday Mass. It's what the Baptists look for when they go to church on Sunday. It's what the Muslim looks for when he's in the mosque. The true meaning is to connect to God. You connect to God, like I said, with this antenna and the receiver, which is the woman. Once you unlock those base chakras that wrap all the way around up to your head, that's why you see, anybody ever seen a medicine symbol that got the staff and the two snakes wrapping around it? Mm-hmm. You ever seen that? Well, most people don't understand that that is the definition of what sex is. They're wearing sex, but they're doing it symbolically to represent healing. Because sex is supposed to heal the human mind, the human spirit, and the human body. And the kundalini, which means the awakening, is supposed to connect us to the higher source. Sex acts as the conduit or the semiconductor in order to connect us to the spirit realm, the existential realm of life. If you truly understood the power of having sex with somebody that was aligned with you and understood these same principles, you wouldn't have to go to a therapist anymore. You wouldn't have to consult somebody or ask your mother, what's my life purpose? Why do I feel suicidal? Why do I suffer from bipolarism? Because these are all energies. You wouldn't have to ask a professional about these things. Because to experience sex on the truest form with another person that's aligned with that same spirit is to experience a connection with the source that made all this shit. And once you are connected, this is what the Hindus call the Kundalini process, the awakening process. This is what this is Sanskrit. This is ancient antiquity. This is what this stuff truly means. In order to connect to those spirits, mean that you now unlock every answer or every question that you've ever asked or any human has ever asked in the history of life. Sex is the conduit to unlocking the purpose of life. But because social media, propaganda, and the way that the media in these 13 families of the world has propagated sex to be on the black community, because they know we have the power. This is our original science when you're dealing with sex. Sudan, going back to the Kushites, this was their original teachings about sex. This is why sex was not considered to be popular, but it was considered to be essential, and it wasn't any taboo about it, because they understood that what sex teaches us, we can't read in the Bible. What sex teaches us, we can't write in scripts. Sex teaches us where we truly came from. And in order to be connected to the main source of where we truly came from, you have to find somebody that's connected to that source, meaning that their body is aware as well as their mind. So how does this affect us today? 9 times out of 10, you are having sex with somebody that don't even know what the hell they want to do for a living. You're having sex with a person that don't even know what love is. You're having sex with a person that doesn't even know how to experience life more than take me shopping, take me to eat, and then I guess I'm obligated to give you something in the process. If you are connected with a person that does not know any of this, that is basically unaware of who they are, there is no sense of you going to church, because having sex with that person, you are going to be basically, it's inevitable that you will never experience understanding the connection with God. You might as well throw away your Bible. You might as well throw away your septicue. You might as well throw away your Kabbalah. You might as well throw away anything that's trying to connect you to a higher power, because that's the true meaning of what sex is about. Sex is about love. Sex is the act of love. Sex is about connection. How can I be in the act of connection and be disconnected at the same damn time? How is that?
So basically, you know what? In a way, you just said that lack of sex will drive you crazy.
No, that's not what I said. What I
Well,
said
in layman terms.
No, not even in layman terms. What I'm saying in layman terms is sex is the most powerful thing on earth. If you don't know what sex is and the origins and why you having it, then you are basically going down a rabbit's hole and you will never get out of it. Sex connects you to God. Sex is the reason why you don't need church. You don't need mosque. Sex is the connection to the answers that you need to be answered, right? But if you don't know that, you're going to be left in the dark.
So basically, get laid.
No. Be aware of who you're getting laid by, because you might be getting your spirit from a person that might believe in something that's different from God, if you know what I mean.
Well, I believe that we're just almost about out of time. We are actually out of time. Good night there on Anchor app. Well, we have run out of time.
Yes, we have.
On Facebook Live. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been another episode of the Brothers App Podcast. Give yourselves a round of applause. Slow clap. Shout outs to our residential DJ here, JMC. Go follow him, please. He's got his projects coming out. He's got his own podcast with his people's out coming soon called The Winner Circle.
Yes, sir.
The Winner Circle coming out. Chase your zodiac health and wellness. I'm going to figure out something soon outside of this. I actually got something coming up very soon. It's going to be dropping this later on in the fall, so please keep a lookout for mine. And I hope that I have it really ready for y'all guys. I have got something special.
And on that note, people, we are out of here.
Later. Peace.